Hey everyone, what's up? This is Dr. Charlie, physical therapist, and in this video I'm going to share with you how you can use an everyday, ordinary bed sheet to reduce your back pain. So in a moment here I'm going to share with you exactly how to do it, how to turn this into something that can help you. I'm going to share why it helps and also what it means for your recovery. And real quick, if you're not sure what could be causing your back, butt, and or sciatica pain, again, my name is Dr. Charlie Johnson. I've worked with over 10,000 people with these back, butt, sciatica problems. This is my specialty, and I've created a free DIY diagnostic guide that walks you through step by step the exact diagnostic algorithm that I use, and you can use it too, from the comfort of your home to figure out the most likely source of your symptoms. Download it above and or in the description. All right, so the first thing you need to do is take this bed sheet and fold it. There's 17 folds that we're gonna walk you through, okay? So you know exactly how to fold this, and you don't wanna mess this up. Now hopefully you can tell I'm kidding. Really simple, we're gonna fold this up, and it needs to be about the thickness of, say, your torso. It's going to become some sort of back brace, all right? So we're gonna do some bed sheet origami here, and we're going to fold it into something that can eventually fit around her abdominal region to see if it helps her out. So,
let's fold it.
Let's fold it. First step, remember, don't mess this up. Is you're going to lay out this bed sheet. You're going to do step one. You're going to fold it hot dog style, lengthwise, if anybody isn't sure what that means. Then you're going to fold it hot dog style again. So I guess that's two folds. And then this is where you want to think about sort of the height of your abdominal or pelvic region. So if you didn't fold this again and we tried to make this into a back brace, then it would be covering too much. So let's fold it again. Let's do 3 folds, and that's probably good. Yep, perfect. Okay. That's all the folds you need. You need 3 folds to make this, in a moment, into a back brace. All right, now before we show you how to use that bed sheet and make it into a sort of makeshift back brace, you need to find something. You need to test something that is yucky and or doesn't feel good. So lots of people, for example, who might benefit from this, maybe they have trouble standing up and walking around because after doing so for a little bit, they get some type of pain, numbness, tingling, either in their back or running down their leg. So that would be a test. Maybe go walk around and see how you feel, or maybe walk up the stairs and see how that feels, or maybe find a certain motion that feels a bit yucky, but pick some activity, maybe bending over to pick something up. Pick something that feels a little bit unsafe, a little bit restricted, a little bit yucky or unpleasant or painful, and then once you've tested that thing, you have an idea of how it feels, then you're going to do this. So this is a quick tip. If you already have a back brace or you ordered one, most people put it on standing up. Don't do that. Instead, put it on lying down. We'll explain why in a moment. Here's the other cool tip. If you do this, what I'm about to show you in a minute, and it helps you, then it gives you reason to believe that before you ever have to buy one, that a back brace might be valuable to you. So here's how you can sort of test before you buy, if you will, to see if a back brace might be helpful. All right, so now that you have something yucky, something that feels uncomfortable, you know exactly what that feels like, you want to lay this down, all that special folding that you did, lay down your sheet, put it right across your bed and or maybe on your floor. Bed's a little bit easier because it's easier to get off. And then you're going to do this. So go ahead, I'm gonna help her out. So if you have somebody at home who can help you with this, that's always easier, but you can absolutely, worst case, if you need to, do this on your own. So position this right around like where your hips would be. It'll just be easier and you'll see why in a moment. Go ahead. Perfect. Okay, so now, if I were to wrap this over top of her, she needs to drop her legs, so slowly drop your legs. If we were to wrap this over top, here's her hip bones. So I can feel the bony part on the top of her hips right around here. So that's fine if it just goes just below. I actually thought it was too high, but I think this is fine. So find the little points of your hip, feel them there, feel them there, and put the edge just below that, maybe like an inch or 2 below it, all right? Now, again, if this is too thick, it goes all the way over your chest, all the way up to your neck. Again, we don't need like a full body suit here. We just need something that creates a little bit of rigidity in the abdominal region, all right? The other thing to think about that I didn't think about before is, and it's pretty good. You know when you make a bed and there's like a foot on this side and then there's nothing on this side and you got to kind of pull it this way? I am going to ask that we pull it this way just a little bit. So you center it up. Perfect, let it down. Okay, so now that both sides are draped evenly on either side, we can take this, and we can take this. And now what I want you to do is go ahead and can you tie this? Now this is not a fashion statement, so just know that if you find value in this, it does not mean you have to do this for forever.
And a bow?
Do you want a bow?
No.
Now, here's why I say put it on when you're lying down. So if you put it on when you're standing up, your abdominals are engaged and kind of the rib cage and everything is flared out a little bit. If you put it on lying down, you're totally relaxed and you're a little bit skinnier, if you will. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so we pull it tight. Is that pretty tight?
That's pretty tight, yeah.
Okay, now if you want, you can put it in a bow. This way it's easier to undo. So you want to bow it? You can do that? Cool. Perfect. Don't do the bow. And we're not doing a bow this time, all right? Now here's the thing. Hold it tight for me. You good? Can you still breathe?
I can still breathe.
Totally.
How would I do that myself?
I don't know.
Okay.
You're going to need some help.
Okay. Just saying.
Are you trying to help me out on this video or not? Hold your tail. All right, so now what you're going to do is you're going to retest the thing that was problematic or painful before. Maybe it was getting up and walking before you noticed some pain going down your leg. Maybe it was climbing the stairs. Maybe it was bending over. Whatever, you tested something. Now you're going to apply this input or this thing, this treatment potentially, right, if you want to call it that. And then you're going to retest. So what I want you to do is slide up, roll over, holding your tail. Perfect. Now can you just push yourself on up? So we're still practicing decent mechanics here, or probably a safer way to get up. And now go ahead and just walk around. You can walk off camera if you want. And then come on back. And you want to tell me, same, better, or worse. Any answer is okay. If this doesn't help you, that's okay. You can just end the video and it tells you this thing and or a back brace doesn't help you, right? So then you don't have to waste your money spending $50, $100, $200 on these fancy back braces if you don't find this valuable. All right, so you walked around. Is it same, better, or worse? Your
Better.
back, butt, leg stuff.
Better.
Better, okay. So what does it tell you? If this makeshift MacGyvered back brace can reduce your symptoms, now here's the thing, for whatever reason, so why does it help? Well, one of two theories here. Number one, it just might make you feel more supported. So whether it's placebo, meaning just the sensation of having a little bit more support there, right? And it gives you more security and you feel like it's supporting you because maybe somebody planted in your head that you have a weak core and that's exactly what you need. I don't care, it doesn't matter, then great. It means that you may respond to having some type of support or bracing system there in the form of either a bed sheet temporarily, but unless you like walking around with something tied to you and you maybe want to do this out in public, then I recommend you probably purchase one. You can check the link in the description for one that I found to be really useful for lots of people that I work with, if you would like. So again, that link is in the description. But it also points to the fact that maybe you actually do need some type of stability in that area, in either the hip, pelvic, and or core sort of region. By the way, lots of times I get a question of like, hey, if I wear a back brace, will that weaken my spine or weaken my core? No, in fact, it increases confidence in your ability to move, and that's all we care about. This is not a long-term strategy, it's a short-term test to see if, number one, does it make you feel better? And then number two, is there a way that you can take this concept and maybe make it into something a bit more permanent momentarily, which would be buying a back brace, all right? So that's why it helps, and what it means, again, is that you could transfer the same concept of creating some type of abdominal bracing or more structure or support to your midsection and actually go ahead and purchase some type of back brace and or support. Again, link is in the description if you want to check out the one I recommend. So she tested. She found something that was yucky, walking. When she walked, let's just say she had more pain, numbness, tingling going down her leg, and it was a problem. Then we folded this bed sheet up in a way that fit her size, if you will, and put it on lying down. We put it on lying down such that rather than being upright and engaged, we shut off everything, was able to cinch it up really good. We tried bunny rabbits, bunny ears, it didn't work, so don't do that. Instead, just tie it nice and tight, and then you immediately want to retest to see what happens. If you get a same response, Dr. Charlie, that was no better, well, then it tells you that buying a back brace is probably not going to be useful or valuable, and it's probably going to be a waste of money, so don't. If it was worse, it does happen sometimes, where tying something tightly around an area that's sore might make it worse. In that case, definitely don't buy a back brace, and you've got to find a different solution, all right? And or if it was better, which means for whatever reason it makes you feel more stable or more safe and less threatened. For reasons of it being just placebo, you like the comfort of having something warm and snug around your belly, doesn't matter what it really is at the end of the day, but that's one possible option. And or maybe it does actually create some type of artificial stability, and that points to you maybe needing some type of increase strength or work throughout your abdominal and or pelvic region, and maybe that will reduce your pain. I say maybe because it doesn't mean 100% it will reduce your pain, but it gives you a clue or one piece of evidence at least that, hey, maybe if I learn to strengthen these muscles and create some more stability or strength in that area, which is what this is attempting to do on a very micro scale, then perhaps that will help. So it gives us evidence that maybe if we go down this core and or hip stability or strengthening route, that you might respond well. And again, what does it mean if you're better? Well, instead of walking around with something like this all day, just go buy a back brace or something that does something very similar. Oh, last little tip. All right, so there's a misunderstanding. You thought you'd just get up with it and then take it off.
Yeah.
You can if you want, but at the end of the day, if it helps you when you get up and walk around, walking around is more than just getting up. So wear it when you're walking around throughout the day.
Oh.
Just to be clear, so we don't have any confusion, all right? If this is helpful in that it directly improves your ability to do that which you had trouble doing, which is walking. Your problem wasn't getting up.
Oh, I understand. Sorry.
If your problem was just getting up and transitioning, this is a lot of work.
I understand.
Just to try to transition, but you could do it if you want. Instead, if you felt better walking around, then you would wear this throughout the day in the comfort of your own home.
In the middle of the day, when I come home, if it feels bothered, I would lay down to put it on and then get back up. The whole concept of laying down was not about it being in bed. It was just about you should lay down because it turns everything off.
Very good. Okay, yeah, so the whole intent of testing this was to see if it improved that which you had trouble doing, which was not lying down. It was walking. The reason we applied it laying down, very good question, is because rather than you engaging your hips and everything and kind of having tension throughout and then trying to cinch it up in a guarded position, which is your problem, being up on your feet, a lot of people do much better lying down. If you feel better lying down, and by the way, it relaxes a lot of your muscles, then it allows you to be less guarded and get more compression when you're lying down. And then when you stand up, it often tightens a bit more even because your pelvis splays, your abdominals turn on, and so you have that tightness from lying down.
I see.
Use it throughout the day. If bending or lifting was problematic, go ahead and wear it throughout the day, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of bending and lifting. And again, remember, this is a temporary thing. It's a MacGyver way of testing out to see, before you buy, if a back brace is useful. So if you find something that this is helpful, then for a few days between now and when you order on Amazon Prime and you get your back brace, then you're going to wear it as needed. Make sense? Good question. Then when you take it off, here's what a lot of people do. They're up walking around, they're like, oh, that was really useful. And then they just undo it. So go ahead, just undo it. You could do this, but again, this tends to cause then a lot of just return of compression to the area. So you had this nice snug feeling, you had this safety net, if you will, around your pelvis and around your back region, and being up on your feet was problematic, and then you just cut the ties. And so a lot of times then symptoms just come rushing back. So go ahead, you would lie down, you don't have to do it the second, but you would lie down, take it off, and then sit on up and just slowly reintroduce yourself back to load bearing or back to weight bearing.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So that's all I got. Hopefully this was useful and it saves you some money before you just go buy a back brace thinking it's your ultimate solution. Hopefully you understand how to do it, something you can use that everybody has readily available to see if a back brace is useful. And it also helps give some evidence as to whether or not you should maybe strengthen your core or your hips, or maybe you need more stability or less stability. Again, it doesn't mean absolutely here. It just means it's something worth testing, and it starts to kind of give you some hints as to the direction of things which you might respond to. So hopefully that is helpful. Again, this is Dr. Charlie Johnson. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. If you found this useful, be sure to hit the subscribe button as well as the bell for notifications when we go live every single week, and also give us a thumbs up. Thanks so much, and until next time, talk soon.